Hello, guys, and how's it going? I hope you can hear me. Okay, I can see myself, so that's okay. Okay, guys, first of all, as you might know already, on Tuesday is gonna be Repovive's opening contest with $500 in prizes. I mean, I really hope that you enjoy it, and I believe that the problems are the best quality. It's gonna be a super interesting contest with the best possible quality. I want to see that if you guys are planning to join. I know that it's on Tuesday, not on a weekend. We'll definitely try to have the next contests on weekends. Salam Ora. But I'm pretty sure that you will still enjoy the contest that we have. Let me see your comments. Salam. But no, I was. Yes, it's the best time to push again, since this is the time that we are also starting this camp. We are starting our great initiative, and we are planning to, let me pause this playing for myself, and we're planning to do great things together. So how was the trainings in the bootcamp? Let me take a look and see that's how many people have accepted all the problems. Okay, I see that there is a question too. Guys, if you had any questions about anything, feel free to ask it in here. The discussion section, the dedicated discussion section in the bootcamp. You can register in the bootcamp and ask all your questions there. Okay. To remove for me to solve on my own after this. Yeah, I get it. Uh, I see. So you feel like these are a lot of problems and you might not be able to solve it. It's okay. Try to do your best. I mean, human being usually gets surprised when he understands that how much he can be stretched. I mean, I myself always do this. I myself always set some goals for myself that is harder than I can reach. And then I myself get surprised how much I can stretch and make it happen somehow in a way. But do your best. Do your best. If you can, that's completely okay. This is the philosophy of our boot camps, to be very intense and in a limited time. But you should keep getting value from it even after the bootcamp is ended. I mean, you can continue solving the problems if there are problems left, definitely. And also, if you don't remember the solution of some of the problems, take a look at them again in the videos and try to solve them again. The problems you provide is very hard for me. I see. I get it. Do you understand the solutions that I say in the videos? Let me take a look at the comments here as well. Yeah, I mean, I hope that this bootcamp will really help you to get to expert. I'm sure that you will get to expert. You're just 10 points away. Are really good, especially the DV ones. I'm very happy to hear that. Very happy. And guys, is a Repovive in general everything that we had in okay, how long will be the bootcamp? We have 5 or 6 sessions. We had 2 of them. This is the third one. We have 5 or 6 sessions. Guys, I want to ask a question from you. And we're gonna quickly go over talking about the problems. But let's until other people join as well, let's quickly ask a question from you. Do you find Repovive useful so far? Is it something that you think people get benefits from? I want to know your honest feedback. I mean, because this feedback is what shapes Repovive. I mean, if we are not as good as we should be, we should learn it, like what to do. If some of the things we do are really helpful, we should understand to do them more and do them better than they are right now. So I didn't stream for I no, I don't think so. And guys, all the questions in the bootcamp, because we want to be very fast and go over, because many people want to watch it and learn from it. So in order to be very fast, I'll go over the topics soon and go over the problem soon, because maybe some people are watching and they want to get the best use of their time like you do. So probably I cannot spend much time on personal questions one by one, but I made this discussion section for you so that none of your questions get lost, and you can ask all of them in here, and I will check them and I will respond to them. So, and you can see your own comments, all comments, and when your comment gets a response, you will get notified via email that your comment is responded. There's a reply to your comments. Thank you very much, Oran, for reminding me. At the beginning, I wanted to tell you to remind me of that. Why you don't remind me? But I actually forgot afterwards, and you reminded me. The third session is started. So let's get back to the question that I was asking. Do you really find Repovive useful? What can get better in it, in your opinion, to help you, to help yourself better, help yourself the best? And what can we do to make it even better than this? Yes, boss, thank you as long as possible. Thank you, very useful. And the concepts you are teaching are little unexplored to our level. It provide more problem. Okay. The bootcamp is helping a lot. The idea is really good, but a bit of practicality it's missing. What do you mean, a bit of practicality? You mean, for example, in the bootcamp, implementing problems or what? And guys, there's another question that I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask you. Do you know other people who might actually get real benefits from Repovive? Do you know other people who might actually get real benefit from Repovive, but they are not aware of it? Add more problems to any third rating wise. I'm actually working on a great roadmap. And if you want, we can help in designing that roadmap as well. We are even thinking of gamifying it. So level by level, I mean, first you start from learning C++, etc., and you go at that. And then we create this roadmap that you can go to it. And for each one of them, we have definite guides to, okay, how to learn it. I think because most of the issues, as I understood, is that people don't know what to do to learn competitive programming. So that's something that we have. But also rating wise, we can definitely work on that as well. More topic wise sessions. We definitely can have topic wise bootcamps as well. Isn't some ML model suggest personal problems? Train model on your experience. Actually, training models is a very interesting thing that Repovive wants to do that. And we actually have done some things previously, but we haven't launched any of them. I was thinking to first understand that what you really like the most, to first double down on that. But yeah, actually everything, I mean, there's a lot that we can do with AI. And I myself have built a lot with AI previously, and especially through the last year. And we definitely can do many things. Would be the most useful in my opinion, even I will be okay, put the problem. Okay, sure. So guys, I really wanted to know because our community is built by people. And it's super important if we have more people and these communications happen. I mean, why did I put a contest? I really put a contest to make this community more active. I mean, many people told me that you are looking for money or something, you want to sell courses or something, but you know that after 2 years I've never done that. And right now I'm reaching the states that I am paying myself to for the awards of for the prizes of contests. That's actually only because I want to really create this community. I have this great passion of building something amazing. And that's all I'm thinking about right now. Something that would be really useful for everyone. And it would be a great help for you guys. And all of that, the super important thing for me is that all of that would be free. Because if it's not free, the access would be for a limited people. And if it is for a limited people, it's not actually amazing. You know, I mean, if you help 10 people, it's good. But what if you can help hundreds of thousands of people? That's when where the amazing thing is. That's where the real useful thing is. And one of the most important things is to actually make this community more more engaging and having more people. So do you think you can invite more people to Repovive? I mean, are you in groups or anywhere that you know people who might get benefits from Repovive but are not aware of it? And you find it beneficial for them. We don't want people who we have no benefits for them. We actually want to, because we know that this issue always exists. Sometimes you have something really amazing or great, but your issue is that people are not aware of it. So you have to find a solution for that. How to make people aware that, okay, we've built this and you can now use it, you know? That's something that I want to know what you think about. I mean, it's hard to follow along. If you have everything going on, give limited time. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you have some limits, etc., you should definitely try to go with the best you can. I mean, we have this intense camps, but the videos will be there and you can use it as you want. You can see that's what is the best you can do. Decision life has the most benefits. Yeah, great. You can issue problem. Yeah, that's actually something that we have already too. Sheet for each level. We have 3 levels and beginner, intermediate, advanced. And if you want, you can register in them and solve the problems there. And you can see how others solve problems too. I see that some people solved all the problems. Let me, by the way, check Bootcamp very quick as well. And guys, we will talk for at most 3 or 4 more minutes. Then we have to start because I don't want to put so much time on talking about other things. But great, I see that many people accepted so many problems. I have not added the problems of this session in advance to the sheets, and I'm sorry for that. It was better if I would do it. But I definitely, after this session, I will add not only problems of this session, but also the problems of the next session. Because that would be something that would be really useful for you to think in advance if you had time. Festival, no, we have training session. Definitely, definitely. We can. I mean, the camp is for anything that you get benefit from. I think it was basic of this community help even for newbie to achieve fiery things. That's great. You need a human mentor, not to AI. AI can help definitely in some things. Maybe in some things it cannot help and it would be worse, but in some things it can help. And we definitely want to find what it helps. But yeah, I mean, uh, I would not send an avatar of myself to teach instead of myself because it feels better if it's real me. And so far, I can promise that it's real me. It's no AI talking to you right now. How about is going on each day? Yes, yes. Right now, we solved many problems in an intense way and tell you that this is supposed to help you get aware of, I mean, learn the patterns. And then you should definitely accept the problems to make sure that you're completely okay with all of these. And because if you have not accepted it, it's actually not useful and it's not actually, you have not solved the problem yet. And then after that, you can solve other problems. Then you have many patterns in your mind. This is, as I said, I promise that everyone who attends this camp at the end, they can feel a jump in their Codeforces rating. And I'm going to have a survey and ask it from you at the end because you should at the end say that how was the camp. I think the results, camp can, yeah, definitely. We have a LinkedIn page. Yes, we can have topic-wise bootcamps as well. We just started. So, guys, I wanted to see that if you really like Repovive and really want to help it grow, as I said, we also have this place that's in teams that you can join. I mean, I see that we have new teams as well. That is interesting. I made this team to build and learn with Repovive. And you can request to join this and I will contact you. I see that there are some people already having join requests, 20 people have, it was better if I was not showing the names for privacy, etc. But anyway, it's better if if you want, you can join there and we can do hopefully great things together. I mean, we can. Our goal is to learn and build together, build something great together. And if you want, you can join our team, and that's totally open to everyone. And if you could help this community grow, if you are in a group, if you have some friends, etc., it would be really great if you talk to them and introduce Repovive to them. Do you think you can do it or not? I just want to know. I mean, there's no pressure. I mean, if you feel you can do it, please put a plus. Otherwise, please put a minus. I want to know that's how many people actually can do this and have access to people. And they know people who actually benefit from Repovive. That's what we care about the most. That would be great. That would be great. Because as the community gets bigger and bigger, there's a lot more to it. And it's going to be a lot more valuable after that. That would be great, guys. Great to hear that. And thank you for helping Repovive to grow. I hope that we can talk in person too and continue working more on building something really great and amazing. Okay, so without any great, just introduce your friend. That's great. That's great to hear. Let me, without any more further ado, start talking about the problems. It's exactly midnight right now. At keyboard enter was, it's command and enter. With enter, you can go to the next line. But if you press command and enter, you can send it. But if enter is easier, I can change it to enter. That's easy. I mean, just very quickly, I can change it to simply enter, if that's easier. Okay, let's start talking about the problems. You can take a look at the videos of the previous videos of the camps. They are all here. Make sure to register in the bootcamp. If you come to the website, in the bootcamp section, we have this specific camp that you can just say, I'm in, and it will be added. You can ask your question in discussions. It will be added to here to see all the problems and track your own progress and see others who are in it. And you can watch all the videos as well. Let me share this link as the last thing as well. And let's start talking about the problems. As you can see, I have many tabs open. I've took a look at, I mean, guys, you have sensed it probably already. These are the problems that are selected from many, many problems. As you can see, I already have many Codeforces tabs open. There are many problems and most of them get filtered because I don't think they are that useful to help you grow. And I kept the best ones to actually discuss in the camp. That's really helped the best for you to grow. Let's talk about the first one, 3 displays. Let me send it to you in the chats because it's not in the links in the camp. So this problem says that it is the middle of 2018, and let me forget about the story. It says that we have an n and n values, si's and ci's. We want to choose 3 values, I and j and k, such that I is less than j less than k, and si is less than sj and less than sk. And among them, we want to choose a subset of size 3 such that the sum of CIs, the sum of their cost will be minimized. So actually, we have n elements. Each of them have some SI and some cost. We want to choose 3 elements such that their values of SI is in increasing order and their value of CI, the sum of their CIs is minimized. You have to say that what is the maximum, what is the minimum possible we can achieve. Okay. If there's any issue with the statements, let me know. Hey, Hafun, if you are first time here and you want to know about what the camp is, you can look at it here. And I hope that you find it really helpful. Okay, so I guess there are no questions about it. DP, very good. That was a good guess, actually. Let me talk about it. Guys, what do we see in these problems? We have three elements, right? We have three elements. So a lot of times when we have three elements like this, my mind normally goes this way. And I will think about this. I will think about fixing the middle one. Why? Because if you fix the middle one, then it's like you have two independent questions. One is that choose some value in here such that it's greater than Sj and its value of Cj is minimized. And one is a completely independent question that says that let's choose some value in here, let's call it some value in here that is less than Sj and the value of Cj is minimized. So it's like if you fix the middle one, J, then we have two independent questions that we can solve independently. What do I need? For each J, I should know that before it, between all the elements that their value of S is less than Sj, what is the minimum value of C? And after it, between all the values that they are greater than Sj, what is the minimum value of C? These two things are the things that we should find out. Okay. Do you agree with it? Do you agree that if you find these two, I mean, you will be completely, we will be completely fine? Like see a problem solve counts beside each problem. That's a very good idea. I'll take a screenshot from it. That was actually a great idea. And guys, thank you so much for your ideas. That's super helpful. I mean, that's the best that you give me ideas about what we should do. Ask this question in the discussions. I will definitely answer that. But they are very similar. I mean, DSA is algorithms and it's very similar. I mean, I myself trained on Codeforces and competitive programming, but now if you give me a DSA problem, I can easily solve it. Okay, great. So I think so far it's clear. Now I say that now for each index, I have to find between all the values that are before it, what is the minimum C between the values less than Sj, and after it, what is the minimum C in the values that are greater than Sj. And do not forget that n is up to 3000. So for each j, we can have a 4. For each j, we can actually first have a 4 to find out the best I. We should find an I such that Si is less than Sj and Ci is minimum. And also for k, we should, and when we did this for, then we are done with it. Then we have another 4 for k. These two 4s are independent. They are not nested 4s. That's the main point. That's the good thing when we make two problems independent. This will be solved by itself. That will be solved by itself. So we have another 4 in here for k. These are for the values like Sj, Sk that are greater than Sj, and it has minimum CI. So for each j, we're gonna have a 4 on both I first and then on k. I and k are not nested. So it would be of n squared in total. And it can be easily accepted. Is it clear? Is the solution to this problem clear? Right. Yeah, I mean, watching the DP stream can be very extremely helpful for you if you're just learning. I don't know. That problem is familiar to me, but I don't remember if it was the clear. It was this way. I don't know, but that because that actually is a very good problem. Clear, great. So if it's clear, we will go to the next problem. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next problem. Guys, this problem is a simple problem and you might have accepted it, most of you. I'm talking about this problem to solve a harder problem that I'm gonna talk next. So don't worry if this problem you have solved it before and it's easy. This is gonna be used to solve the next problem. Okay, so let's talk about it. This problem says that we have n stones and each stone has a cost. The cost of stone number I is v sub I. And we have two questions that we want to answer. The first question is that if you have two numbers L and R, you should, what is the value of sigma of I from L to R vi? The other one is that assume that we have a copy of these values and assume that let ui be the cost of the ith cheapest stone. So assume that we have sorted these values. Then in the sorted array, what is the sum from L to R? And for every question, you should give the answer. So that's it about the problem. Is there any issues with the question? Really? I haven't seen duplicated messages. I don't know. Is that do the rest of you also get the same thing? I will definitely take a look at it. Because yes, it was this problem was discussed in prefix sums as well. Thank you. Salam. And thank you. Great. So okay. So now let's talk about it. What is the solution, guys? You tell me. What should we do on this problem? I know that most of you know it. Exactly. We should do prefix sum. But we should do prefix sum, exactly. So we actually keep the sum in each prefix. Assume that first we are just calculating the answer to the first query. For each prefix, we calculate that what is the sum of that prefix. And then when we are looking for the sum of a range, what we can do is to calculate to see that what is the sum of this prefix and what is the sum of this prefix and subtract these two. Then what will be left will be the sum of this range, right? So we can easily have it for the sum of each range in VIs. The same holds for UIs. We can have an array and then we can have for each range. Again, if we calculate the sum for each prefix, we can easily calculate that. Is it completely clear? It's a simple prefix sums. And as I said before, guys, when we use prefix sums, please try to use zero-based indexing and half intervals. I said it many times in the first session of the camp. If you want, I will implement this one again to emphasize on that more. So even if you are familiar with prefix sums, maybe you're not familiar with this important thing. Actually, no. I mean, this is right. I see what you are saying. But in the most clear way to solve prefix sums, I mean, in the cleanest way to implement, we don't have any -1 or +1. What does half interval mean? Half interval means an inclusive exclusive interval. So a half interval from L to R means that it's inclusive exclusive. So it has L plus 1, it has L plus 2, and it goes up to R minus 1. This is a half interval. So P of I, define it as the sum from 0 to R, inclusive, exclusive. So actually, it does not have R. It would be from 0 to R minus 1. This way, it's like, why did I say R? I minus 1. And I deleted everything. Okay, so it would be from 0 to I. Actually, it's like P of I will be the sum of the first I elements. With this definition, P of 0 will be 0 because it's an empty set. P of 1 will be A of 0 and so on. If you do this, then for a range, for a half interval from L to R, you can easily say that the sum of this range is going to be P of R minus P of L. Why? Because P of R is the sum from 0 to L minus 1. And if from that we subtract the sum from 0 to L minus 1, then we get exactly this. So if you work zero-based indexed and with half intervals, you're gonna have the cleanest solution. Otherwise, it's not as clean. It's not the best practice. Otherwise, is it completely clear? I wanted to emphasize on this point too, because I know that a lot of you are familiar with prefix sums, but maybe some of you still do not use the best method. Doing using one way? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's tough to change the habits. But if the habit is helpful actually for you, it's the best if you try to change it. You're gonna get the benefits from it, from doing it. If you want, I can implement it too. Let's vote. Do you want me to implement it too, or do you want me to go to the next problem? Let's quickly watch. You can either type next or implement. I'm okay with both. Let's see what majority of you say. Implement, 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 implement. Okay, we have a lot of implements. Okay, so I think it was 6-1. Now 6-3. Okay, I will implement. I think the majority of votes is to implement. Let me talk. Let me implement it very quickly. So I will write the code here. So we can actually do this. We have an array of size n, and n is up to 10 to the fifth, right? 1e5 plus 20 int of n, v of size n, u of size n. Then we say C in n. I will build the arrays first. Int I from 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So far you see that I'm using zero-based indexing. C in vi, ui equal to vi. Why? Because at the end I want to just say sort ui, and then I have both of the arrays. Then I have both of the arrays, both ui's and vi's. So I see in vi, u is the same as v, just it's sorted. Okay, so now I have both. Now, what should we say? What should we say? We have to calculate the prefix sums. Let me see if it can get long. It can become long. So we have long of pv of n, pu of n. And then I will say this for int of I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, pu of I plus 1 is equal to pu of I plus u of I. Why? Because pu of I has everything from 0 to I minus 1. Pu of I plus 1 has everything from 0 to I. So we should just add I itself to it, right? So did I not share the problem link? Yeah, definitely. So we actually need to just add ui itself to pu of I. And then pv of I plus 1 is equal to pv of I plus vi. Is it clear so far? If it's clear so far, please put a plus, otherwise put a minus. This is how for each prefix I can calculate, for example, for each pv of I is equal to the sum of v0 to v of I minus 1. Let me write it here. PV of I is equal to the sum of, let me write it here. V0 plus V1 plus 2V of I minus 1. So PV of 0 is an empty set. It has nothing. PV of 1 has only V of 0. PV of 2 has 0 and 1. PV of 3 has 0 and 1 and 2. Okay. If it's not clear, put a minus, otherwise put a plus. Okay, so I think that is clear. Awesome. So then all I can do is to get the queries. Queries are in order type L and R. And let me see. Okay, first it gets M. So I will see in M and I will say while M minus minus int of L and R seen. Oh, int of type. Type is also an int, right? Int of type and L and R. Type L and R. If type was 1, it means that we should answer for V. You should output the answer for the first question for V. And guys, one important thing. When L and R are given to you, they are given to you here. L and R are one based, indexed, and inclusive intervals. It means that it is exactly from L to R. But what we want is to have L and R zero based and inclusive exclusive. So it has L but does not have R. So first of all, I will subtract 1 from L and R. Now, what happens now? We can say that now they are zero-based indexed. Now they are zero-based indexed. And then in order to make it also a half interval, inclusive, exclusive, I will add 1 to R. Now it is inclusive, exclusive. So in general, or let's say, so overall, I could instead just say L minus minus. Because for R, I say R minus minus in order to make it zero base, but then I say I plus plus, R plus plus in order to make it inclusive exclusive. I don't want R itself to be included, so I will add 1 to R so that thing still R minus 1 will be counted. So actually, in order to turn L and R from inclusive to inclusive exclusive, I just need to subtract 1 from L. Do you agree with this? Yeah, exactly. The point is that I did it here so that you see that what is happening. Because if I would only say that, okay, just do L minus minus, you would say why. But you see it here. First, we say L minus 1, R minus 1, R minus minus, so that they will be zero based, and then add 1 to R, so that it would be inclusive exclusive. In total, I could, instead of that, only say that L minus minus. If you agree, please put a plus. If everything is clear. If it is not, also let me know. Sure, thank you. Thanks. So that's it. And then I say if TP is equal to 1, C out, as I said, just PV of R minus PV of L. Else, it means TP is 2. So C out PU of R minus PU of L. Why? Because we want V0, VL plus VL plus 1 to VR minus 1. And PV of R is V0, V1 to V of R minus 1. And PV of L is V0, V1 to V of L minus 1. If you subtract these two, you easily see that you exactly have VL to VR minus 1. And that's going to be it. Now I submit it. Let's see if without compiling it gets accepted. Okay. I think it's getting accepted. Okay. So that's all. If you want, you can take a look at my code as well and save it somewhere because I documented it as well so that you can use it. So I'll send you the link to my submission. Yeah, you can. No, it can access array of n. Yes, it can access. Array of n is the sum of everything. And that's why we usually in the definition of our max n, we usually add a small amount to it. For example, if one is 1 if 5, we like add 20. So that's for having one or two more cells, we won't face any issues. So we always add a small buffer to it so that we are safe. I hope it's clear for everyone. Okay, I wanted to get over this problem faster to go to the next problem, but it's based on your votes. I mean, based on the votes of people who are in the camp. So if you needed it to implement it, that's completely okay. So we implemented it, and I hope that it was helpful. No, I mean, around 20 is enough. Some people use 7. Some people like 7 more. Some people, I mean, it's okay. Even 5 is okay most of the time. But it doesn't matter because 20 and 5 is not much difference. I mean, you won't get memory limit except for 20 when it's up to 10 to the fifth. Unless you raise it to a power and it's 2 to the power of something. Then if you add 1 or 2 to it, it's going to be so much. But in here, it's okay. I mean, always you can keep just 20 more. Just be large and have 20 more. Don't worry about it. Sure. Okay. So let's move on to the next problem now. The next problem is Greg and array. It says that Greg has an array. Let me share this problem with you. It says that Greg has an array. Guys, I will also add all of the problems to here as well. So if you register the camp, all the problems will be here. And when you accepted them, you can just click on a cell to show that it will change to a check mark. So I will add all the problems here too, if you wanted. Maybe I should put this in the description of this video as well, so that if people watch it later, they can easily access it. So the next problem says that Greg has an array A1 to AN, and M operations. Each operation looks like L, R, and D. And to apply operation I to the array means to increase R array elements from L to R by D. So an operation is to add D to everything from L to R. Okay. An operation is to add D to everything from L to R. And now Greg wrote down K queries on a piece of paper. Each query has the following form. It has XY and YY. Now this means that one should apply operations with numbers from XI to YI to the array. So when we write xi and yi, it means that we do all of these operations, and each operation itself has its own L and R and D, and says that we need to add D to everything from L to R. Now Greg is wondering what the array A will be after all the queries are executed. Help Greg. I hope that the statement is clear. Each operation adds D to to values from L to R. And now each time we do not do just one operation. We want to do a range of operations now. So we are very powerful. We'll do a range of operations at once. Is it clear? Is the statement clear? If anything about the statement is not clear, let me know. I constantly get notifications from people. I don't know who's messaging me. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. So I guess that there are no questions about the about it. So let me now talk about it. So guys, here we want to use prefix sums, but in a different way and in a more interesting way. Let's just first assume that we want to add D to everything from L to R. Assume that we want to add D to everything from L to R. That's our only task. Okay. And let's make it one step simpler. In my explanation, I use one-based indexing. That's usually the convention. That when we talk and we explain and in problem statements, things are in one-based index, but when it goes to the code, it's gonna get zero-based index. Why? Because problem statements are more public, and maybe for some people it's hard to understand that what zero-based indexing mean. So in order to make problem statements simpler, usually they use one-based indexing in problem statements and also in explanations usually. But in the code, when you go to the code, you yourself always use zero-based indexing. You as a programmer will always prefer zero-based indexing. So anyway, let's get back to it. I want to add D to everything from L to R. So in order to do that, I first make the task even simpler. Assume that I only want to add D to everything from L to N. So I assume that R is always equal to N. I assume that R is always equal to N. Okay. This makes it a bit simpler. Why? Because now I can say that how can I in each query add everything from L to N? I can just say that, okay, let's just add this value D to L only, not to the rest. Let's just add this value only to L. Okay. And not to the rest. At the end, have a for, and to each element add the value before it. So for now, we only add the elements the first place they need to be, and then we will propagate it at the end. We will iterate, and each time we say that each ai plus equal to a of I minus 1. So we will only add d to here, and then as we are going forward, we will add the previous one to this. This way, this D will propagate at the end. When we are adding D here, it will then affect this, and this will affect this will affect this, and so on. So you see that at the end, if I add the previous value to each element, everything after it will be added by D. So we can solve the problem if we have queries where we are adding a range from L to N. Is it completely clear? If anything is not clear, let me know. Yes, I also shared the statement as well if you want to read it too. But let me quickly say it as well. The problem says that we have an operations add D to the values from L to R. And we are solely talking about this. We are talking about that, okay, how can I, in a fast way, add D to everything from L to R? And how do we do this if we want to make every step faster? We say that, okay, when you got L, R, and D, only add to L. And assume that R is equal to N for now, always. We simplified the problem. And then iterate over everything and add the previous elements to each element each time. This way, you can actually get what you want. And for now, we are just talking about this. And then I'm going to talk about what the second part says. But for now, let's just stay focused on this. Yes, it's different, sorry. Its name is different, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I will reach there. So I guess that there are no questions about it. So yes, so we will add D, and to everything in here, D will be added. Now the point is that we assume that we go from L to N. Now you can assume that you add D for you don't R is not necessarily N always. So how can we solve that? We solve the problem for when R is N, but R is not always N. So what do I say? I say that it's okay. Add D to everything from L to N, and then add negative D minus D to everything from R plus 1 to N. There's actually a way to make it cleaner if you apply zero-based indexing and half intervals. We don't have that plus 1 minus 1s, but I'm skipping that for now to avoid making it complicated. So I say that only add d to everything from L to N, and then add negative d or subtract d for everything from R plus 1 to N. And we know that already. How can we add something and when the right part of the interval is N? So actually all you need to do is that when you got a query, add d here and then add negative d here. This way, this L adds d to everything in here, but this R adds negative d to everything in here. So they will cancel each other, and only this range will be added by d. So that's why if you see some people also wrote here that we say A of L plus equal to D and A of R minus equal to D, or A of R plus 1. In the more in the cleaner way, we use A of R, but I'm skipping that part for now because it's not the priority yet. Why do you pick problems from old context if you pick problems from recent context? You can understand the trade, right? These are the problems that are handpicked over years, and many of them, yeah, are old. But many of these old problems are actually better to learn the concepts. These are the problems to learn the concepts. But when we do, you are learning like that. It's completely a class where you are learning new things. The problem solving is not like this. Problem solving, when you solve problems, you should take problems and start thinking about them and try to solve them. You should not hear the solution very fast. We are just going over the many concepts very fast, and you have to accept them after this so that you get familiar with all of this. And you can see that it has wonderful effects. And we have done it many times before. It really has wonderful effects. So if you see some of them are old, the main reason is that if I take a problem from the last contest, it's obvious that, okay, it's a random problem that we just chosen, you know? But these problems are the problems that are famous over the years, and that's why. But definitely I try to add more newer problems as well. I think the intuitive problem we have to learn early. Yes, it's mostly for fundamentals. That's what I'm saying. Does it ChatGPT for debugging goods? I don't recommend it. If you are really stuck, not definitely not in a contest. But if you feel really stuck in practicing, you can try that after when you tried your best and you couldn't do it. But don't use it often. I mean, because if you use it often, you will become someone who cannot debug without ChatGPT, and it's not useful. Although I believe that that's the future of world, so there's no reason to restrain ourselves much, but still, you have to do it. No video audio lagging or no audio video lagging? Do we have lags right now or do we not have lags? I hope that. Can I just go over the approach again quickly? Yes, I will go over it quickly. No. Okay, so I guess there's no lagging. Yeah. Let me go over the approach quickly again. We want to add D to everything from L to R, right? So we add D to L, add negative D to R plus 1, and we have a 4 and add the previous elements to each element. So we say that, assume that you want to add the range from L to R. You just say A of L plus equal to D, A of R plus 1 minus equal to D. As I said, I don't like this plus 1 minus 1s. In the best practice that I will tell you later, we don't have plus 1 minus 1s, but I'm skipping that part for now to avoid making it complex. A of R plus 1 minus equal to D. And then I have a 4 from the beginning to the end. And I say A of I plus equal to A of I minus 1 for each I. Okay. And that's it. This way, exactly at the end, everything from L to R will be added by D. Because when we add L by D, it adds D to everything after L. When we subtract D from A of R plus 1, it subtracts D from everything after R plus 1. So exactly from L to R will be added by D. I hope that it made it clear. Yes, it's another shape of prefix sums. Yes, but I don't want to put a huge load on you. Things should happen step by step. So first, let's just learn what is this shape of prefix sums, without making it complicated. Once it's okay and you're completely okay with that, then we will talk about the better practice. That's the normal shape to, I mean, it's step by step. If we try to do two steps at once, then we might fall, you know? So I want to go step by step. So for now, I'm not really talking about the best practice. I'm just talking about the practice that is easier to understand because we go step by step. But next, I will do. I mean, definitely in the next times, I will talk about the best practices. Make us dumber. Yes. AI will make us dumb. But the philosophical question is that why do we need not to be dumb anymore? If we can create something that is smarter than us, there's no need for us to be smart. And so why not being dumb? That's actually a question that is asked now. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I have it in mind to solve a problem later on this that we will talk about the best practice. Whether we should practice more or for it depends on your current state. Ask these questions in discussion. I can answer you, but because we want to go fast, and I know that many people might want to watch and they want to go fast, you can come to this section and ask any questions that you have, and I will answer it here. I should make a change in it so that whenever someone asks a question, it sends an email to me so that I get notified and can answer promptly. For example, I saw this just now. I should add an email feature that sends to my personal email. I will work on this. That use hashmap for beginners. Yeah, definitely ask all these questions in the discussions and I will answer. Ask also this in the discussions. I will definitely answer this. I will send you some problems. Okay, so if everything is clear, let me continue on this. So now we know that how to add D to everything from L to R. Now that we know it, what can we do? What are we wanted? What are we asked to do? We know that each operation has some L and R and D. And now each query gives us an X and a Y, and it tells us to do all the operations from X to Y once. Okay, so now each query gives us an X and a Y, and it tells us to do all the operations from X to Y at once. So, is it clear what the statement says? Now we are reaching the second section of the statements. Is the statement completely clear or anyone has any hesitations about the statements? Clear. Yeah, we will also, as I said, I'll definitely in discussions, I will put more problems if you ask for that, definitely. Okay, so I guess that statement is clear for everyone. No one has questions. So now I will have a two-level prefix sums. First, I want to see that how many times I should do each operation. So I know that a query gives me X and Y and tells me to do all the operations from X to Y. First, I create an array that tells me that how many times each operation should be done. I will create an array B, and when I get X and Y, I say B of X plus plus, B of Y plus 1 minus minus. This way, using a prefix sum, first I can understand that Y plus 1, because we're using stupid one-based indexing. One-based indexing is real bad, guys. But anyway, B of Y plus 1 minus minus, B of X plus plus, B of Y plus 1 minus minus. And then we can just have a for and say that B of I plus equal to B of I minus 1. Then for each operation, we can know that how many times it will be applied. Now that we know that for each operation, how many times it will be applied, we will go over operations one by one. And for each operation, we know that, okay, it will be applied like t times. And it has some L and R and D. What does it mean? It means that it should add to everything from L to R D t times. So it's like it adds D times T to all of them. Okay, it's like we add D times T to all of them in the first place. I mean, instead of adding D T times, let's just add D times T. What is T? T is B of I. How many times this specific operation is done. And then we can just simply add here by D times T and subtract here from B by B times D times D, and then add the previous value to the current value for each element. That's it. Is this clear? If you have any questions, let me ask. Also, let me show you my full webcam for a bit. If you have any questions, let me ask. I hope that I do not forget to bring it back to the screen, because that has happened several times. As I was explaining, I forgot to bring it back to the screen, and everyone were screaming that the screen is not visible. Can you go over this again? Yes, sure. Clear, clear, good. I'll go over it again. So, guys, we have to do each operation from X to Y once. So I say that the first question is that how many times each operation will be done. That's the first question. How many times each operation will be done? In order to do that, I first say b of x plus plus. When I get x and y, I say b of x plus plus, b of y plus 1 minus minus. And then add b of I minus 1 to b of I. This will propagate. I mean, if I add 1 to here and I subtract 1 from here, and then I will keep propagating them forward, then you can see that this part will be untouched, this part will be added by 1. So this is the difference arithmetic that we set. The name of it, this is another way of doing prefix sums. And because as you see, again, it has similar ideas. It says that, okay, this range is this range minus this range. These are just suffix instead of prefix, but we could consider it prefixes as well. That would also work. But anyway, we say b of x plus plus, b of y plus 1 minus minus. This is actually a difference array 2. It's called difference array 2. This way, all these values in here will be added by 1. And at the end, I can know that how many times each operation should be done. Once I know for an operation how many times it should be done, let's call it t. And let's assume that the values are L, R, and T. It means that I should add D times T to everything in this range, because this operation will be done T times. Each time adds by D. So I should add D times T to everything in here. And then at the end, I can just output all the values. I have all the values and I can output them. I hope that is clear. If it's clear, let me know, or put a plus. If it's not, also let me know, or put a minus in the chance. And guys, another idea that we had was to add a voice section so that you can also talk with your voice instead of just asking questions in the comment section. I think, do you like it? I mean, do you find that useful? If so, we can implement it and we can have this feature on the website, if that's actually better. Maybe this way we can get more connected. What did I get? B of X is giving us the count, you mean? Yes. It's gonna give us the count that each operation will be done. It tells us how many times each operation will be done. If it's clear, please let me know. If it's not clear, also let me know. B of I equal to all in range L2. No, B of I is the operation number I. Okay, we have several operations. We have, for example, M operations or something. X and Y tells us that every operation in the range from X to Y should be applied once. So I should add B of X by 1 and subtract 1 from B of Y plus 1. And then I say that B of each I plus equal to B of I minus 1. This way it will propagate and I will have B of all the values in the range better. Is this clear? If there are any other doubts or issues, definitely let me know. And guys, the bad news is that we are close to that 1 hour and a half. I hope that we can move on to the other two problems too. That's great. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So I will move on to the next problem now if there are no other questions. Let's quickly talk about the next problem too. This is also an interesting problem. Kishi is throwing a party. T is the number of times that operation is done. D is the value that each time it will add. So if I do an operation T times, each time it adds D, in total it will add D times T. That's what we get. So I just add it by D times T this way. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. It says that Kishi is throwing a party and he wants everybody in the party to be happy. He has N friends. His I friend has I dollars. If you invite the I friend to the party, he will be happy only if at most AI people in the party are strictly richer than him, and at most BI people are strictly poorer than him. Keshi wants to invite as many people as possible, find the maximum number of people he can invite to the party so that every invited person would be happy. Okay, so each person has some amount of money, and if this person comes to the party, he will be happy if and only if the number of people who are strictly richer than him in the party is at most AI, the number of people strictly poorer than him will be at most BI. You have to keep everyone happy, everyone who comes to the party. You have to say that what is the maximum number of people we can have. Binary search this button. Yeah. That's right. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. So I think that the statement is clear. That's great that it looks like binary search because it actually is binary search. That was a great idea. That you got. See, guys, this is what happens when you solve a lot of problems. You see the problem and you feel the problem smells. It smells like binary search. I mean, your mind will lead you to the solution. That only happens when you are trained on many problems. Then you can easily solve these problems and you can really get good at it. So, let me talk about it. First of all, guys, if we remove one person from a party, no one gets set. Okay? In this problem, if we remove a person from a party, no one gets set. So, what I mean is that if it is possible to have k people in the party, it's also possible to have k minus 1 people in the party. So if it's possible to have k people in the party, it's also possible to have k minus 1 people in the party. Because we can just remove one of them and still everyone would be happy. And then if we have k minus 1, we can again remove one person and still everyone would be happy. And so on. So if k is possible, k minus 1 is possible too. So if we consider the maximum number of possible people, everything less than it is possible too, and everything more than it would be impossible. everything less than this is possible, and everything more than this is impossible. So, what idea does it bring to our minds? The idea that it brings to our minds is binary search. So, we will run a binary search on each value x or k, and we want to find out if we can find k, if we can invite k people. So we do a binary search on k, and we will try to find if we can invite exactly k people, at least k people. Okay, that's what we are trying to do. Now, the problem that we need to solve is that, given these people, is it possible to invite k people or not? Now, for a fixed value of k, we want to see that if k is possible or not. The answer is yes or no. We reduce the problem to this. Is it clear? How does it look like binary search? Yeah, that's the reason that I just talked about. I hope that now it's clear. But what the minus sign we remove is needed to make? No, that never happens. A person never helps to make another person happy. So actually, what we have in here is that removing a person does not make anyone unhappy. So if we remove one person, no one cares. No one gets unhappy because they just have an upper bound for the number of people richer than them and the number of people poorer than them. They don't have any lower bounds. So one less people is better. So we find minimum k. We find maximum k that we can get. The maximum number of people. Yes, exactly. ChatGPT told me you would get the DPs if you solve a good amount of DP questions. ChatGPT is right. Okay, is it clear so far? If it is, please put a plus in the chats. If it's not, put a minus, or just let me know. Yes, clear now. Great. Maximizing and minimizing the summer is a trick to look for binaries. Yeah, yeah, we have talked about that. So minimax. Okay, so we have to find the maximum. I mean, we want to find out if we can have k happy people in the party or not. Okay, now let's talk about the poorest person in the party. Let's talk about the poorest person that comes to the party. Let's have all the people sorted. And now let's talk about the poorest person that comes to the party. What condition should he have? B of I or A of I. A of I was the number of richer people. A of I should be at least k minus 1. Do you agree? A of I should be at least k minus 1 because there are k minus 1 people richer than him. And B of I should be at least 0, which always is. But just I'm just writing. Let's show it with A of 0 and B of 0. Or let's show it with A of I1 and B of I1. For example, assume that the poorest person that we choose is person at index I1. And then for the second person, the number of, we know that there are k minus 2 people richer than him in the party. And there is one person poorer than him in the party. So A of I2 should be at least k minus 2. And B of I2 should be at least 1. And then for A of I3, it should be at least k minus 3 because there are k minus 3 people in the party that are richer than him, and he should be happy with that. And B of I3 should be at least 2. And so on. Each time we can see that the condition on B adds by 1 the condition on A decreases by one. That one will be added, the other one will be decreased. Is it clear? Uh, for for when is that minus? I'm not sure. Which words? Is it about the binary search? Guys, let me quickly repeat the binary search part. We said that removing one person from the party would not make anyone unhappy. So first thing, we say that if k is possible, k minus 1 is possible too. Therefore, this is binary searchable. Now we have to find the maximum k that is possible. And in order to do that, I, uh, I will each time solve it for a fixed value of k, and I will see that if it is possible for that fixed value of k or not. Okay, that's all we do. And now for a fixed value of k, we add these conditions. We said that a of I1 should be at least k minus 1, b of I minus 1 should be at least 0, and so on. For the next ones, we add this. Act like human. Yeah, that's right. It tries to resemble human being. When to say the minimum maximum k that's uh we need to find the maximum k that is satisfied. I'm not sure what you mean by minimum maximum, but probably you're thinking about the same thing. Okay, so now we have these conditions. Now assume that, as I said, assume that we have formed people, ordered people in the order of their wealth. Then I have a greedy approach. And this problem actually gives a vibe of greedy in here. Well, what do I say? I say that among all the people, I mean, these conditions are completely independent. These conditions are completely independent. The only thing is that I1 should be less than I2, should be less than I3 if we sort people by their wealth, and so on. So the best I1 for me is the I1 that is to the left, maximum amount to the left. You know, I mean, if I can find the poorest person that satisfies this condition, that is the best choice for me because it gives me more room for choosing the next person. And then for that, again, I try to choose the leftmost person, the poorest person who satisfies that. Because for the next people, it gives us more room to choose the next people. So then my solution would be like this. I will find okay, I should be connected again. Uh, so, yeah, I think it's back now, right? Is the audio back? The voice? I think it should be back. Okay, great. So now what we say is this. We want to, I mean, each time we want to choose the minimum person, the poorest person, such that it satisfies these conditions. Because these conditions, as I said, are independent. The only thing that makes them related to each other is that each person should be richer than the previous one. So try to choose your people as poor as possible so that the situation for the next ones will be easier to be richer than this guy. And that's all. I iterate from the beginning for each person. I see that if this person can be our next person. So first, I'm just looking for someone whose AI is k minus 1, its BI is 0. Once I saw someone, I say that, okay, I find this guy, and then I will decrease this by 1 so that it becomes k minus 2 because the condition for the next person is like this. And I increase this one by 1 so that it becomes 1. And then again, when I saw someone who satisfies this condition, I will again add one to my, I say, okay, that's my second person. And it goes like that. And this way, at the end, I can easily have the final answer. I mean, I can see that if I can choose K people or not. If I could, the answer is yes. Otherwise, the answer is no. And when we can solve this yes or no for fixed K, we can do binary search to find the maximum K. Is it clear? Where are the problems for today? The problems for today will be added here, but they're not here, unfortunately. I will add both the problems of today and the problems of the next camp to here. So join here and I will add the problems and I will make sure that I think that we have not implemented it for the problems in the camps. That's automatically sent to you an email that tells you that new problems are added. But we'll work on that too. There are a lot of things that you should work on. Okay, so is the solution clear? I'm struggling to solve C in div 2 every time. Any comment topic? Guys, ask all your questions in the discussion section that we have in here. I will answer all of them. Because I'm only doing this for you guys. I want that we will be focused on moving forward as fast as possible in the sessions such that we can get the best benefit over time. Right now, we are reaching the end of the stream. I think we had around an hour and a half, and I don't want these streams to be longer than an hour and a half because I think that it makes people exhausted if we have it more than 1 hour and a half, and you cannot learn as much, especially if you are attending it online. So I would like to solve one more problem so that we would have 5 problems for today, but it's okay. I mean, we'll learn from it. I try to learn from it and learn to such that how to prevent this from happening next time so that we can solve more problems in our 1 hour and a half. But yeah, I mean, this time we solved 4 problems and I will add all those problems in the discussion section, as I said. Sorry, I add problems in the problem section, and you can ask your questions in the discussion section, and I will answer them. So that's it about the problems. Make sure to accept them. This time we have 4 problems, so you should have an easier job accepting them till tomorrow. And then tomorrow we're gonna continue our discussions and continue our camp. I'm struggling to solve. Again, guys, ask it in the discussion section. I will answer all of that. The build and learn is gonna be building and learning everything. So we will do everything. And I mean, that's the mindset. I mean, there are, if I tell you about myself, I'm doing many things at the same time, right? The same time right now. So I should talk to you. I mean, as I said, if you want to be in the build and learn, if you want to learn other things other than just CP as well, for example, you are interested in many other things, you can come here to the team sections. And guys, let me tell you this as well. If you like, I mean, let me talk about it once again. If you like, do you guys like to learn together? Do you learn better by learning together? I talked to you about this last time as well. I know that we might have new people here. Do you learn better if you learn together or alone? Because people are different. I know that people are different. Some people do better if they are alone. Some people get motivated if they have other people that they will train and learn together. What type of person you are? Till you are answering this, I will quickly tell you that you are completely free. If you are passionate, you're welcome to join us. You can just come here, build and learn with Repovive. I'm gonna understand what are your preferences. Probably at the beginning, we have to give you less sensitive stuff But if you perform well, you can become more and more, come more into our core team. So look at it like this. It's like a level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. You come at level 0. So I will talk to you and see that's what's your mood and everything. And I will tell you that, okay, do you want to learn these things? Do you want to do these things? And if you do them well, then you can promote to the next level. And who knows, maybe at the end we end up doing very great stuff together. So that's actually to find. I know that many of you guys are very, you are very smart and you have great potentials. So I think that's also a great thing. That lets us meet each other, and I'm really glad that it gives such an opportunity. So if you are interested and passionate about it, feel free. I mean, we would definitely welcome everyone. And let me see that if you answered my question. Pair programming helps us a lot in problem solving. I also agree that to a lot of people, it really helps if they learn together. So that people can also post. Yes, I mean, we had instant posts for this mostly, but people did not use it that much. But we can have it, yeah. We can have a section that people can ask for help and others can reply for it. Thank you so much for your comments and for your suggestions. I will take a screenshot from it so that we have it. And guys, Repovive is your community. It's completely yours. So whatever you think is good to be added there, just tell us that it's good to add it there. And even probably we can even have you yourself to add it there. I mean, I can even add you and say that, okay, you can, if you want to, you can implement it yourself. And that's completely okay. But maybe before that, before I being added to the repository and working with that code, we should do some initial works together and get to know each other better. But you reach a stage that I can say that, okay, you can add this feature if you want. So know it as your community. I mean, it's completely yours. And I want you to anything that you think that would be cool and interesting and would be useful, that can make it something amazing that you would take great benefit from. Definitely tell me. I'm excited on CF and I had left programming company 3 months due to my internship prep, but I am now starting again. That's great. Ask this question in the discussion section, like the other questions. Maybe I have an AMA session as well. Uh, we will. I mean, if you want, we will talk about it. Maybe it's best if we don't talk much about it here, but together we will talk about it. Guys, please, if you want, maybe we have one AMA session as well, Ask Me Anything session. Well, I just answer your questions. Uh, if you want, if you find that's useful. But for now, let's ask your questions in here. I don't want to make the camp sessions uh, very long. So I want it to be very intense and focused. That's why I'm asking you this. I'm software engineering student. I also have to learn development skills. That's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, basic definitely. If you want to build and learn together, definitely let us know and see that's what we will see that what we can do. And we actually are looking for people who are very passionate. We want people who are really passionate and they want to do anything to do something big. And in order to make something big, based on my experience, there are some beautiful things that you can do. There are some dirty stuff that you need to do. I mean, you have to you have to write thousands of lines codes that doesn't have much idea. You have to sometimes not writing code. The writing code is the most fun part, but you have to do other things too that they are not as interesting, but they are necessary to build something big. I mean, what can you do? But yeah, I mean, if you are passionate enough about creating something big, you would love to do that. I I'm right now in a state that I almost work all day. I mean, I can tell you a story that you would understand that how much I'm not sure to share it or not. Maybe it's better if I don't share it. But I have a story about something that I left and I said that okay, I should work. That you would understand that how much I was dedicated to work, that I canceled that to work. Tomorrow contest is on which platform? Codeforces. Contest tomorrow. There's a contest tomorrow on Codeforces. But the contest after that is on Repovive. We have a contest on Tuesday on Repovive. If no issues happen and we don't have to delay it, hopefully. But it is on Tuesday. If you want, we can have weekly AMS sessions. And about the questions, I will, guys, answer you. Let me see that how many questions are here. There's only still one question here. I will answer it. Guys, ask your questions here and I will answer that after the session. And if anyone else can wants to read, they can read it here. And guys, the good questions that you like them so that they come on top. That more people can see them. So this way, the best questions come on top and everyone can see. Guys, if you like learning in teams and together, this is a feature for you and I really want you to use it well. Because I know that a lot of people are learning competitive programming and they are alone, they don't go to a school to learn stuff, and they don't have classmates who are learning the same thing. That is a huge benefit. But we have a great community. We are building community for exactly this. In here, you can just create a team that say, I want to learn this and describe it and say that what is the level. You want it to be open to everyone so that everyone can join or be request based. So you have to approve anyone to join and put a Discord link in here. We had a suggestion to add something in the website that you can chat in the website. We will definitely work on that. It's just, if I show you the number of tasks that we have on linear right now, you will see that it's a huge list of things that we should do. That's why it takes time to go over all of them and do all of them. But we want to add something that you don't necessarily need to use Discord if you don't like Discord or don't have an account on your Discord. And you can chat in there, and in there, maybe if you want, you can share a Discord link, or if you want, you can do anything else. And this is actually for you to learn something together. Is this something that you find helpful and you might benefit from? Contest is today only in India? I don't get it. I'm going to create a team goal. Yeah, that's great. That's actually great. Then you can find other people who have the same goal, and together, guys, there's way better. And when you work together, for example, there are at least two people. When one of them gets tired on anything, the other one pushes, and that's super helpful. The main reason that I'm not going to gym for a long time now is that I was very busy with work. That's the main reason. But the second reason is that because when I had some time before that, I was not going to gym. Was that I had a gym buddy who was coming to gym with me, but after a while he didn't come, and I couldn't replace him with another person who comes, and there was no person to push me. When we are two people, we can push each other. So one day someone is tired, maybe you might not go and do it. But when you see another person who also is doing it and you're doing it together, you have way more motivation and you will be pushed when you are down. And that would be very helpful. That's actually one of the best ways to learn. So I actually really recommend to you to try to use this Teams feature. And guys, all these would be more useful when we have more people in our community. I mean, as we have more people, there will be more people that you can find that will be in the team. So as I said, if you find Repovive helpful and you want to help with the mission of Repovive to build something really, really amazing, I would be, I think it would be great if you know other people who might benefit from Repovive, really benefit from Repovive, and they're just not aware of Repovive. And let them know about it too. I think that would be really great, and it would really help our community to grow. So if you can, that would be great to share about Repovive to others and invite others to join there too. Is it started at 8:30 IST? Okay, interesting. Oh, and I will do the contest discussion tomorrow as well. Hopefully, I see you there. Okay, if there are no other questions, I will see you guys tomorrow after the Codeforces contest and after that in the camp. Thank you guys for joining today. I hope that you like everything that we are doing and you give us your feedback about them. And we will really build something great together. See you guys. Bye, everyone.